Hey, what's up, guys? Today I'm going to replace the alternator in my daughter's 2005 Mustang. So I thought I'd just shoot some video on how I do it, and maybe it'll help you guys out there that need to do something like this to your Mustang. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is disconnect this battery, and we'll begin by disconnecting the negative side. And this takes an 8mm wrench. In this case I'm using a ratchet wrench. I have to take a flathead screwdriver and put it in here and kind of spread that out a little bit. Get it loose. Put that down there so it doesn't make contact. Now I'm going to take out the positive side. Okay, you got the positive side loose. Just to make contact. Get it out of the way. So the battery's disconnected, so now we can move on to the next step. Okay, the next thing I had to do is remove this air intake. And it just goes like that. You just use a flathead screwdriver to loosen up the clamps on it. And then there's a hose right here that's got this green lever that you got to pull back. Just push that way, and then it just pulls right off there. So you get that out of your way. So it just has these two clamps here. You can just use a flathead screwdriver, and then they just slip off. So yeah, you got to get that air intake out of your way, because we have to get to this tensioner. And the tensioner's down there. I already have a 3/8 breaker bar on it. You can see it right there. And I'm going to have to pull up on that and then get this belt slipped off of this pulley right here, because it has no ridge on it, so it'll slide right off there. So, but you want to really make sure that you remember the orientation of this belt so that you can put it back on properly. And you might want to take a picture of it or draw a diagram to see how that belt runs in there, to make sure you get that belt back on if it falls off any of the other pulleys. But we're going to try and get it to where it doesn't fall off those other pulleys, and slip it off this one here that it doesn't have the ridge, and then we can slide that belt off that alternator. Okay, I made a mistake, and I must not have pushed record on the camera to shoot video of me taking this belt off. So I've already got the new alternator on here and everything, but I wanted to shoot video of this, taking this belt off, so that you guys will see how I did that. So anyway, I'm out here shooting video just taking this belt off so that I can complete the video. And so I'm using this 3/8 breaker bar with a short extension on it, and there's a square hole down in this tensioner down here that you have to put that in. So we've got it in there, and so remember, this pulley has no ridge on it, so I'm going to pull up on that tensioner, pull up on it, and then you can get this belt slid off that pulley. So I've got it slid off now, and now you can slide the belt off of the alternator. So anyway, that's how you do it. And so now we can continue on with the video. So I'm going to put this thing back on there, make sure it's on all the pulleys, and I've got to pull up on that tensioner and get that belt back on that. Anyway, that's how you do that. That's how you take the belt off of this pulley. You just got to pull up on that tensioner with this 3/8 drive. So now we can continue editing the video. The next thing we're going to do is get these electrical connections off of here. And I'm going to use a small screwdriver, a little flathead screwdriver, and I got to stick it right down in here, and then you have to push in on it. And so I'm just going to use this hose right here for leverage. There we go. That one disconnected. Kind of get that up out of the way. And then right here, this takes a 10mm wrench. I'm going to loosen this up. This electrical connection off here. And then that just comes off there like that. Get that up out of the way. And save the nut just in case you need it. Now we got to get these nuts here loose. Those take a 15mm wrench. We'll take our 15mm wrench, and I've already kind of gotten these loose, so they're kind of tight. You might have to put some force on it to get it to come off there. It's kind of a long bolt too. It goes through there. Get that nut completely off there. Put that nut in a safe place. Got a 15mm deep socket. You might be able to use a socket on it, but I just use this wrench. And then once you get them loose, they just come right off there, unless your bolts are really dirty. This one here takes a 13mm, and I'm using this ratchet. You can see it right here with an extension on it, and with the 13mm socket. And this one here, I've already got it kind of loose, but it was really tight. It took a lot of force to get that thing to break loose. That off there. Okay, there's the bolt. It's out of there. I'm going to put that in a safe place and not lose it. And that thing should just lift out of there now. Got the belt loose. We got all the bolts out. Electrical connections are disconnected. I should be able to just pull it out of there. That hose right there is kind of getting in the way of it. Hopefully I can get it to slip past that. There, it's coming. Okay. I didn't even have to pry it up. All I had to do is just pull up on it real hard. There we go. So we got it out of there. Okay, now we're going to put the new one in. New one. Line it up on those bolts right there like that. Use a screwdriver and try and pull that over there. There it goes. Alright. Got it slid down in there. Now we're going to put our nuts back on there. A little difficult getting that thing started. Getting it out of there because of this this hose here, this line. Take that off there and just kind of get it down there or cinch it up. This one was really tight when I took it out. Took a lot of force. Okay, it should be cinched up good enough. Take our 15mm wrench and tighten these up. There we go. Now I'm going to get that belt on. Got my 3/8 breaker bar down there, and I'm going to pull in that tensioner and have to get this belt back underneath that pulley with no lip on it. Okay. It just slips right back on there. Make sure your belt is on all the pulleys. Make sure everything's all lined up and the belt's on all the pulleys. Then we can pull this baby out of there. See, this is a get this one here and it just plugs back in like that. It snaps in place. Get this nut off here. Got this rubber boot right here you got to pull back. Stick it back on there. Take our 10mm wrench. Tighten that up. Make sure it's snug, and then put that rubber boot back on there. That protects it. And then we're going to connect the battery back up. I'm going to start it, and then I'm going to put a voltmeter on it and make sure that it's putting out like it should. Okay, I'm going to put this positive back on. And I'm not gonna put that rubber boot on because I gotta make sure the alternator's putting out the right voltage. Okay, now we're gonna put that air intake back on. Slip it on there like this. And put this other hose back on. Pull that back and that locks it in place. Tighten these up with a flathead screwdriver. Well, we should be all set. Let's start this thing up. Okay. Let's start her up. See what happens. Looking good. That's 14.35, and that's about what it should be. So, alternator's working, and so my daughter's car should be good to go now. Well, it wasn't too difficult, and so anyway, it might help somebody out there that needs to do a project like this. Put an alternator in an older Mustang like this. This is a 2005. This will probably apply to other newer years of Mustangs, but that's how I did it, and so maybe it'll help some of you guys out there. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.